this Diet Coke here. Day 3 of the 2025 Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference Softball Tournament, and we will eliminate 2 of the remaining 4 teams by the time the day is over. In fact, we'll eliminate 1 of the 2 teams who are about to play in the 11 a.m. game. It is the 5th-seeded Raiders of the Milwaukee School of Engineering taking on the 2nd-seeded Stars of Dominican University. Happy Saturday. Don't bother with the lawn work. Settle in for a full day of softball here at Bedrosian Stadium at Spartan Athletic Park, just outside of the gorgeous campus of Aurora University. My name is Sean Fry. Bryce Suter is our technical director. How do we get here? Well, we'll start with the hosts, well, so to speak, on the scoreboard. Tournament hosts are Aurora. They were eliminated on Thursday. The Stars made their first and only appearance of the tournament yesterday and did not go well. They took the lead over 3rd-seeded Benedictine in the 2nd inning on a Kaylee Diaz-Randall sacrifice fly, but that was about where the positivity ended for the Stars. They lost 5-2. They left the go-ahead run on base when it was all said and done with last night, but were unable to complete a significant rally and fall to 30-11 overall. And not only that, they fall into the losers bracket where if they lose again, they are out. But if they win, they'll play again at 4 o'clock against the team that drops the middle game of the day. The 2 teams that are in the winner's bracket, Concordia, Wisconsin, and, of course, Benedictine. The Raiders have certainly had a lot of action in the softball tournament so far, as they've played 3 times, winning the first 2 on Thursday, of course, 4-1 over 8th-seeded Aurora, and then 6-4 against 4th-seeded Concordia, Chicago. But yesterday, one to forget for the Raiders. No hit and a 7-0 loss to the number 1 seed Concordia, Wisconsin. And so the situation's the same. Win, play again at 4. Lose, and it's summer vacation. Both teams with a lot riding on this contest. Let's see what happens, shall we? And on that note, the umpires report to home plate. It's home plate umpire Keith Poirier, Simon Steiner at first base, and Fred Schlesinger at third. So let's bring you the lineups. First for the visiting Raiders of MSOE, here is Sierra Spyu's lineup for the first game of the day. It's Autumn Sadler, the catcher, leading off. She'll be followed by the second baseman, Jenna O'Donnell, and Katie Pollock is the designated player, moving up in the lineup to hit third. 4, 5, and 6 are the first baseman, Jada Nelson, right fielder, Carly Emery, and Alyssa Jacobson in center field is actually switching places with Pollock in the batting order, sliding from third into the 6th spot today. Caroline Forrest is the shortstop, hitting 7th. Olivia Beals hits 8th and plays third base. And Emma Smith is in left field, rounding out the batting order. Sadler, O'Donnell, Pollock, Nelson, Emery, Jacobson, Forrest, Beals, and Smith, the lineup for the Raiders. And they'll send the freshman to the circle in this win-or-go-home game. It's Bryn Timmer, who has put together a nice conference tournament, brings in a 4.40 ERA in 86 innings with 51 strikeouts. She's pitched to a 6-8 record. This will be her 17th start of the season. She appeared in relief against Concordia, Wisconsin, allowing 3 unearned runs in 2 innings, and after getting the win against Concordia, Chicago, she'll get the ball and try to pitch the Raiders through into the final game of the day. That's MSOE. Christina Lucas, who picked up her 500th NCAA win back in April against Wisconsin Lutheran, will draw up this lineup for the Dominican University Stars. And we'll start in the circle. Well, who else would it be but the senior right-hander Emma Woodhouse, who, despite a tough outing yesterday against Benedictine, which really wasn't even that rough, 3 runs, 2 earned in 5 innings, will look to bounce back. She's 17-6 in 139 1/3 innings. She struck out 105. That's third in the conference, and a 1.81 ERA is second. It'll be her 23rd start and 28th appearance overall. Batting order a little different for the Stars today. It's Sarah Cornell moving into the leadoff spot. She will play center field, followed by Liliana Santoyo at shortstop. And Reagan Davis is the designated player hitting third. Isabella Olmos, the second baseman, is in the cleanup spot. And Riley Davis, the older sister of Reagan, bats fifth and plays third base. Kaylee Diaz-Randall will do the catching. She'll bat sixth today. Hannah Vogel's in left field batting seventh. Jillian Zubernat will start at first base today and hit eighth in the DU order. And Kayla Amormino will be in right field, rounding out the order for the Stars. Cornell, Santoyo, Davis, Olmos, Davis, Diaz-Randall, Vogel, Zubernat, and Amormino, the lineup for Dominican. I'll introduce the lineups here at Bedrosian Stadium, and then we'll bring you first pitch. But only first pitch. Then you're no, just kidding. We'll have them all for you today as we start day 3 of the NACC tournament. Our broadcast today is presented in part by Kaufman GMC in Aurora, celebrating 75 years of service to Aurora and communities across Chicagoland. By Elite Management Properties, offering extensive student housing options around the Aurora University campus. And by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, game days are better with Cane's.
At this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
And we are ready for softball day number 3, and a gorgeous day developing yet again here for the NACC tournament. It's about as warm as it's going to be today, 75 degrees right now under fair skies. The wind's coming out from behind the left field foul pole over towards, quite frankly, behind the left field foul pole down towards the right field foul pole, so really across the field, but it's not significant. Gusts north of 10 miles per hour, but really quite a pleasant breeze, all things considered. Now, what's going to happen, you can tell I watched the weather forecast this morning, is that there's actually going to be a strong enough breeze coming out from Lake Michigan. We'll have a little bit of a lake front coming through, and so temperatures this afternoon will start to decline a bit into the 60s. By the time we're done today, it might actually be closer to 60 degrees than 70, so it's going to cool off quite a bit. But for now, enjoy the sunshine and the warmth. Emma Woodhouse is throwing to the catcher, Kaylee Diaz-Randall. Here is the rest of the defensive alignment for the Stars today. It is Jillian Zubernat at first base, Isabella Olmos playing second, Liliana Santoyo is the shortstop, Riley Davis is at third. Behind her in left field is Hannah Vogel. Sarah Cornell plays center field. Kayla Amormino is in right field. Play ball on this Saturday morning, 11 o'clock sharp, as Emma Woodhouse steps in to face Autumn Sadler, and the first pitch flies and is in for strike one. Sadler hitting .326 at the start of the day. Just 1 of 9 in the conference tournament to this point. Woodhouse gets a pop-up on the 0-1. Woodhouse was prepared to take it herself, but Riley Davis was having none of that. Calls off the pitcher and makes the catch. 1 away. Fielders really don't like the pitchers taking care of business, but Woodhouse has played center field before, so if anyone is qualified to make that play from the circle, it would be the senior from Sacramento. Jenna O'Donnell, the second batter for the Raiders, offers at the first pitch and fouls it straight back. 5 of 9 with a run driven in for the conference tournament, but held hitless against CUW yesterday, which, by the way, so did everyone else in the lineup. Certainly not exclusive to O'Donnell. So we're just going to get that out of the way. Everybody yesterday was hitless against CUW. Everyone in this lineup. No one even reached via a walk. It was that comprehensive of a performance by Emma Shellstrom. O'Donnell fights back after the first pitch foul ball and takes back-to-back misses from Woodhouse. And so the senior from Mendota High School digs back in. First 4 in the lineup are all righties for MSOE. She's out in front of the 2-1 and chops it foul down the third base line and over towards the Dominican dugout on the third base side. MSOE occupying the first base dugout. And behind their bullpen are a few MSOE fans and at least one dog. In fact, it looks like a couple who are taking in the proceedings today. And so far do not appear to be that intrigued by the softball flying everywhere. Haven't tried to run out there and play fetch. O'Donnell works the count full. Here's the payoff pitch. Runs inside, and O'Donnell will take her base. Raiders have their first base runner of the day, but now they'll try to end their collective hitless slide. Jenna O'Donnell will try to make that happen. 3 of 9 with a run driven in for the NACC tournament so far. And she'll look at ball 1 from Woodhouse. 65 pitches, 48 for strikes for Woodhouse yesterday. She was all over the plate. What has been a bit wild here in the early part of this one. 1-0 pitch. Check swing foul. I think Pollock realized that was likely ball 2 and couldn't get the bat back. Entered the conference tournament in the top 5 in the league in batting average and leads the team with a .403 mark at the start of play today. She gets ahead of Woodhouse, who has been trying to work the top part of the zone and hasn't had a lot of success finding it to this point. She falls behind Pollock 2-1. Woodhouse winds again. 2-1 pitch finds the outside corner. Stars wearing their white home uniforms, navy numbers and letters outlined in gold. Dominican across the front of the uniform, navy pants, white socks for the Stars here in the first game of the day. Woodhouse sets, and now starts her motion. 2-2 to Pollock is a grounder. The third, and it's got under the glove of a lunging Riley Davis. It should be a single for Pollock. And indeed, that will be the call. O'Donnell stops at third. Runners on the corners with one out for Jada Nelson, who can plate the game's first run. 388, her mark at the start of play. She swings at the first pitch and sprays it back into the screen. A 2-run double against Concordia Chicago on Thursday. She's 3 for 10 for the tournament. 0-1. Rides up out of the zone. MSOE wearing red uniform tops. The MSOE logo on the front. Numbers in black outlined in white. Black pants, red stirrup socks with white and black stripes. 1-1 pitch. Too high again. Well, here's the problem with working up in the zone. Yes, if you miss, you're probably missing too high. The problem there is you really need to hit just the top of the zone or else that happens. Nelson drives it in the left field. O'Donnell scores, and the Raiders are on the board in the top of the first. Nelson has her third RBI of the NACC tournament. And it'll bring the first left-handed batter of the day to the plate in Carly Emery. Team best 12 doubles, plus 3 homers and 29 driven in. She takes strike one on the outside corner. She bats here with one out and a couple on after Nelson plated her team-leading 38th run of the season moments ago. Emery is 2 for 8 in the conference tournament, but both of her hits have gone for 2 bases. Cannot make a mistake to the sophomore from Mankato. 1-1 pitch. Fly ball into center, and Cornell will jog towards where it reads Spartans on the logo in center field and makes the catch for the second out. Alyssa Jacobson. It's almost like they drew it up perfectly this way. They dropped her from 3 to 6 in the lineup. The team leader with 7 homers will have a chance to extend the inning. And looks at ball one as it rides up and in. 348, 4 doubles, 24 RBIs to go along with the 7 big flies. Hit a 3-run homer, her first at-bat of the tournament. And is 2 of 10 for the tournament so far. Fouls off the second pitch from Woodhouse. That evens the count at a ball and a strike. The Raiders with 1 in already and looking for more as Woodhouse winds and deals the 1-1 and drops in a breaking ball for strike 2. A nice pitch by Woodhouse. The job not finished. Has to find a way. Retire Jacobson and the side. She'll get a pop-up. First base side just in foul territory, and just outside the base running tunnel is Zubernat. No trouble there, and the inning comes to an end. MSOE scores in the first inning for the 23rd time this season. On 2 hits, no errors, they leave 2. Raiders 1, Stars coming to bat for the first time on our 3rd day of the NACC tournament. Bryn Timmer gets to pitch with the lead. Let's see the MSOE defensive alignment, shall we? It's Autumn Sadler behind the plate. Third base, Olivia Beals. Shortstop's Caroline Forrest. Second base, it's Jenna O'Donnell. And the first baseman is Jaden Nelson. The outfield, left, center, and right are Emma Smith, Alyssa Jacobson, and Carly Emery. Stars with work to do. I'll look for an answer in the home first, and Sarah Cornell will get it started for the Stars. We're wearing white batting helmets. Timmer winds and deals, and her first offering is well upstairs to Cornell, the freshman from Upland, California, on a career-long hit streak of 10 games. Went 1 for 2 yesterday and was also hit by a pitch. Second pitch is popped up a mile high behind second base, and it's Forrest there to make the catch for the first down. The team leader with a 4.08 average entering play today, Liliana Santoyo, comes to the plate. One of 2 players with multiple hits yesterday. She went 2 for 4. It was her team leading 17th multi-hit game. Once again, first pitch up out of the zone, and Sadler didn't catch it cleanly, but no one's on, so no harm, no foul. 1-0 to Santoyo, and a high strike, even the count. It's an all right-handed batting lineup until the 9th spot in the Stars order, so that side of the plate is going to get worn out here when the Stars are at the plate. There's a liner to short, diving off the heel of the glove of Forrest, who would have had a tough time anyway, and heads up base running by Santoyo, who saw it carom really into an awkward spot for Smith to get to, and she has a double that was on the ground in the infield. That'll put the Stars in business. Reagan Davis, the team leader, with 9 doubles, 5 triples, and 33 driven in, digs in. The freshman hit a homer and has hit .364 to this point in the season. It's 3 batters and 3 first pitches out of the zone above it. One out. Runs inside for strike 1. Timmer finds the zone. The count's 1-1. Here's a grounder that trickles just wide of the bag for a foul ball. Christina Lucas was headed down out of the coach's box, ready to start waving in Santoyo, but saw that it was just a bit wide, and Davis will try to regroup, now behind in the count. 1-2, the pitch. Back up the middle and through. That'll tie it up. Santoyo will score easily. 1-1. Runs for everyone here in this first inning. Davis now with 34 driven in. And that'll bring Isabella almost to the plate. Davis has now hit in 4 straight. Isabella almost was the other star with a couple of hits yesterday. She'll foul off the first pitch. 351, where her average resides, coming into play today. Her 4 homers lead the team. She has 23 driven in, 7 doubles and 3 triples as well. Has reached in 12 straight. Falls behind 0-2 here. Freshman Timmer now needing to try to settle in, as that narrow lead has now been erased. Stars have scored in the first inning for the 13th time. Foul ball again. Count remains 0-2. So Timmer takes a moment, now is back on the rubber. She'll try the 0-2 to Olmos again and rings her up. Quality pitch on the outside corner, and the fastball is out number 2. And Riley Davis will bring a 4-game hit streak to the plate. A .359 average, 8 doubles, and 24 driven in. She was 1 for 4 yesterday. Looks at strike 1 from the freshman. Straight away infield and outfield here against the Stars' third baseman. 0-1. Comes up and in. Davis takes it. One ball, one strike. A runner on, 2 outs. Both teams with a run so far in the first inning. 1-1 pitch drifted off the edge, and Davis noses ahead. Stars swept MSOE at home back in mid-April, 5-0 and 4-3. Dominican didn't really generate much offensively. Just 11 hits for the series. But they were timely. Reagan Davis had a triple and drove in 4 in the first game, and then it was a 5-run bottom of the 6th. Stand corrected. Let me fix that here. 3-1 is pitch on the outside corner. Emma Woodhouse threw a 5-hit shutout in game 1, and then Jada Nelson had a go-ahead 3-run homer in game 2 of that series. Payoff pitch, fly ball to right. Emery has to go back for it, and it is over her head. Davis will score from first. The Stars have the lead. 9th double of the year for the junior from Gilbert, Arizona. It plates her younger sister, and now MSOE will have a brief meeting at the circle, just pitcher and catcher, as they try to come up with one more out. And this is what we can expect here for the duration of game 1. Might be in store for a long one. First pitch, liner in the right field. Emery comes up throwing. Davis makes the turn. The throw cut off by Nelson, and then puts it right to Sadler at home plate to tag out Davis for the final out. That, in my opinion, was not a great decision to send Davis, as Emery was running forward and made a quick throw. And that will end the first. 2-run score, nevertheless, on 3 hits, 1 left. The Stars take the lead through an inning, 2-1. Caroline Forrest in the bottom third of the MSOE order will lead it off. MSOE struck first and then went into the field and watched their lead disappear. It's 2-1. Forrest will face Emma Woodhouse and looks at ball 1 as that one rises out of the zone. Dominican trying to be aggressive on that final play. Hard hit single into right field, but Carly Emery has played a nice right field, hit the cutoff, and Jada Nelson had time to turn and put a throw right to the plate. First two miss, and now Forrest should have a good pitch to hit here, but was late on it. Sprays it foul. Two-one pitch. And Woodhouse finds the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll see Olivia Beals and Emma Smith. The latter, the final lefty in the MSOE order. Pop up and a foul ball headed for us. In fact, it will land right on the front of the roof of the press box and bounce back down into the seats. Not a ton of markings on these windows. Takes just the right angle to get down to hit us. 2-2, flared in the right, slicing, and it will get down foul. Remains a 2-2 count. A lot of space in left center field if Forrest can find it. She rolls over the 2-2. Lunging left, Riley Davis stabs at it, fields it, and then throws out the MSOE shortstop. 1 down to begin the second. Olivia Beals will step in. 2:23 at the start of play for the freshman from Dyer, Indiana. 1 of 8 for the tournament so far. First pitch swinging. It's fouled off the end of the bat. A 1 pitch. On the way here in a moment from Woodhouse, who sets at the belt and now goes to work. Runs a pitch in on the hand. Santoyo, the shortstop, will get it on a short hop and runs right into a throw to get Beals for the second out. Two up and 2 down for Woodhouse. Emma Smith will give it a try for the first time and slaps one to third. Riley Davis on a hop. Quick throw over. 1-2-3 for the Raiders in the second. 1.5 in, and Dominican holds a 2-1 lead over MSOE in an elimination game on day 3 of the NACC tournament. So they were both in motion, but Anna Vogel in the bottom third of the Dominican order set to bat. The bottom of the second, 2-1, Stars in front. Vogel had a 6-game hit streak snapped yesterday. Brings a .338 average into play and immediately starts a new streak. Grounder up the middle and through for a leadoff single. We'll see what Jillian Zubernat decides to do. 42 sacrifices for Dominican this season. Led the league, and we're near the national leaders as well. Zubernat tips the first pitch foul, and that brings the corner infield driving down the line. And, of course, the middle infield all shift to the right. See if the left-handed batting Zubernat tries again and tips a bunt foul. I think I misspoke earlier and said Amormino was the only lefty in the lineup. She is not. 0-2 pitch. It's down and away. Of course, the bunt will be off now, so Zubernat, the senior from nearby Woodridge, will need to be swinging. 1-2 pitch. It's outside. Timmer trying to induce some weak contact out there to the left side of the infield. Downers Grove South High School alum would not offer, and the pitch 2-2 gets the desired ball out to the left side, but Zubernat able to get the bat out, flip it in the left field. Back-to-back singles start the inning, and now there would seem to be no doubt that Kayla Amormino will be trying to put a bunt down her first appearance of the day. There's the bunt. Out in front to Timmer. Only one play will be to Nelson. There will be a couple in scoring position for Dominican as the lineup turns over. Two tries with a runner in scoring position. They've collected hits on both. Only scored on the one after the last one ended up a play at the plate. Did not go Dominican's way. Sierra Spyu has come out of the dugout and is talking with home plate umpire Keith Poyer. Now the umpires are going to discuss, and they're actually going to call Amormino for an illegally batted ball. And that'll send the runners back as well. We've seen this called a handful of times here at Bedrosian Stadium. And, of course, Christina Lucas, I suspect, is not going to be real thrilled, but now the umpires are going to get back together, but if it's an illegally batted ball, Amormino's out, and the runners have to go back. There's really no room for interpretation there, and indeed, they go back. It's still an out. There's no advance. Zubernat's on first with her hand out, appearing to be somewhat confused, but can't be a sacrifice on an illegally batted ball. Let's see if we can get a look at it up here. We have the ability to have a replay, and they do not. It's one of the advantages of being us. So now Sierra Spyu's out of the dugout again. And indeed, Amormino steps forward and actually has her foot, it appears to be, on the plate when she makes contact with the pitch. And so that's why Amormino's out. and no one gets to move up. But now they've discussed it, and Amormino is going to get to bat after all. So there's no outs. Now I'm not sure why it's a strike and not an illegally batted ball. They'll try the sacrifice again. It's the same result. Well, and we're going to be where we thought we were anyway. Just as it was moments ago, it's a sacrifice 1-3. Be curious what the decision there was. So now Sarah Cornell looks at ball one. Couple of misses and then a bloop in the center field, and Cornell delivers to put Dominican up 3-1. The Stars now 3 for 3 with a runner in scoring position. Zubernat goes to third. And Santoyo now comes to the plate for a double in her first appearance. Can break the game open. Katie Pollock starts to warm up in the Raiders bullpen. Santoyo offers at the first pitch. Fouls it away. Oh, 1. Timmer comes up, and Santoyo has to hit the dirt and did not appear to be real happy about the miss up there, and a little hard to blame her. One. Runs inside again. The runner goes, and Cornell will take second on the stolen base. Brush off the plate. Santoyo's looking for an explanation on something, and not 100% sure what. Count's still 2-1. And a foul ball. There's always a little bit of banter up at the plate between batter and umpire. We need to get players and umpires mic'd up. I think that's what we need. Let's add that for 2026. Pitch up and in again. It's a full count. Cornell on second. Zubernat ahead of her on third. 3-1 Dominican in the bottom of the second. A run already in. And the payoff pitch. A soft liner to short. Forrest just above the dirt makes the catch. 2 down. Worth mentioning, though, a nice job by the Dominican base runners to wait that out and not run into a double play. It'll allow Reagan Davis a chance to add to her team-leading RBI total, as she did in the first with a clean single up the middle. She rips at the first pitch, tips it back into the screen. Feels like an important moment in this game. MSOE has been held to a run or less 14 times, shut out in 8. That obviously is not in play, but they've had a tough time when needing to score a lot. I'm going to ground ball the third here. Beals with no trouble throws out Davis, and that will end the threat in the second. The Stars add another on 3 hits. They leave a couple to the third. Dominican in front, 3-1. Top of the third inning and the top of the order for MSOE up here in the third. The quote-unquote visitors in this ball game trying to rally from a 3-1 deficit. Autumn Sadler fouls off first pitch from Emma Woodhouse. Sadler 0 for 1. Swing and a miss. Woodhouse climbs the ladder. And it's 0-2. Raiders have won only 5 times when they've given up 4 or more runs. So it does feel like they need to slam the door here. Although one of their wins in this tournament was that 6-4 victory that put them into double elimination play. More often than not, MSOE, who averaged 4.5 runs per game, needed to keep the score down this season. After a foul ball, Sadler takes an elevated pitch, and it's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. The count as Woodhouse goes back to her motion. Sadler hits it hard to short. On 2 hops, Santoyo fields it cleanly and throws out the MSOE catcher. 1 away for Jenna O'Donnell. Walked and scored the only run for the Raiders in the first inning. It's really put together a nice conference tournament. Looks at ball 1. There's a 1-0 pitch. It's on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch. Runs inside, and it's a 2-1 count coming up. Freshman backstop trying to set the table for the Raiders in the top of the third. Fights off a 2-1 pitch. Or O'Donnell, rather, fighting off a 2-1 pitch. Still trying to set the table. You know, we're on day 3. We're doing our best. There's not enough diet soda in the world at this point for me. Here's a fly ball to center. Cornell runs on and makes the catch for the second out. I've just been fearing that I would call MSOE Benedictine and vice versa at some point in this tournament. In previous years, these uniforms would have been very similar. In fact, as recently as last year, it more or less had the same uniform design, just to make things very interesting. There's Katie Pollock. She singled in the first inning. Thinks a ball in the dirt. Woodhouse into her motion. Went for the outside corner and wasn't able to find it. Pollock ahead 2-0. 2 outs, nobody on in the top of the third, and what so far has been a very long first game of the day, all things considered. Grounder to second, almost. Sweeps it up. That's a 4-3 putout to conclude a second straight 1-2-3 inning for the Stars defense. They'll get the bats out in the bottom of the third, ahead of MSOE 3-1. They just look like they're wearing onesie pajamas. Yeah, we're all trying to figure it out up here. Bottom of the third inning on the way in the middle of the Dominican order. Gets to face Bryn Timmer. They have a 3-1 lead over MSOE. The freshman starts off, fellow freshman, with ball one. Almost struck out looking in her first appearance of the All for Now morning. Takes strike one, and it'll level the count at 1-1. Pitch comes up and in. Under the sunshine here at Bedrosian Stadium, we can see a hawk circling overhead, surveying the area, no doubt looking for some sustenance. Swing and a miss from Almost. We saw some geese overhead earlier. Ended up flying over onto the adjacent property. They had no interest in softball. But this hawk, well, seems to be flying away. Apparently, it has no interest either. Strike three, Almost is out on strikes for the second time today. She swings and misses. We'll see if it circles back, but it appears to be out of our sight now. Well, they have other things to worry about. Riley Davis, first pitch swinging, and it's tipped foul. It's really a lovely time of year when the trees around Spartan Athletic Park and on campus at Aurora University start to really become bright and vibrant. It's a lovely shade of green all around. Now, those of you who suffer from seasonal allergies might have another opinion about the matter. Looks nice, maybe isn't the nicest to deal with, but looks nice is what we're going for here. Can see some windows open as vehicles drive by on the road behind us. 1-1 to Davis, another foul ball. 1 out, nobody on, bottom of the third inning. It's landscaping crews everywhere season. Everywhere you go, cutting grass, pruning shrubs, the whole 9 yards. See people out in front of their homes putting down mulch. 2-2 as Timmer misses in the dirt. And the older Davis, an even count, 2 strikes. There are no cicadas. You know what else it's the season for? Poison ivy. One of my least favorite things about the season. There's a strike 3 in the dirt and a looping breaking ball. Sadler will have to scoop it up and throw down for the second out. Third strikeout for Timmer. There's Kaylee Diaz-Randall, who singled in the first. That was the play that ended with an out made at home plate. She'll take a ball from the freshman. Another thing that it is convertible season is you see a convertible Corvette drive into the parking lot. I think I've driven in a convertible one time. And it was not mine. It was a lovely experience. I don't remember when it was exactly, so I might be making it up, but I feel like I've been in a convertible at least once. Counts 1-2 to Diaz-Randall. I've only had one vehicle with a moonroof. That was the closest I ever got. 1-2's in the dirt. We're level here. While we're on the topic, another thing you see around this time of year beginning, classic cars. Folks who restore older vehicles. I love seeing a good hot rod around. Where I grew up in southeastern Pennsylvania, there was a large classic car show in August every year. I used to go with my grandfather. It was like our big thing to do every summer, and I absolutely loved going, seeing all these hot rod Chevys and Oldsmobiles and Fords and you name it. It was a really fun experience. Diaz-Randall fouls off the 2-2 and stays alive with 2 outs. Motorcycles, that's another thing you see this time of year. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, and a soft pop-up that forces Forrest to run forward. She makes the catch, and the Stars are retired in order at the bottom of the third. Felt like a very long third inning given how long we talked about random topics, but it is 3-1 Dominican as we go to the fourth. They lead MSOE. 3-1 Dominican. They lead MSOE as we get ready to begin the top of the fourth. In the middle of the MSOE order will come to the plate. Jada Nelson drove in MSOE's only run in the first inning. She gets the bat out for the second time. Emma Woodhouse is tossed back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings. Gets a first pitch fly ball to center, and it drops in front of Cornell. Stops a run of 8 straight retired for the Stars senior. Nelson's 2 for 2. And Carly Emery will come to the plate. She flew out first time up. Offers at the first pitch. Sends it into the bleachers over a few Dominican fans. Now, they have the right idea. They have the umbrella out. A little bit of shade. Emery puts the bunt down, tips it foul. He's trying to catch the MSOE defense by surprise, but could not get it down fair. It's a good day for an umbrella. No doubt about it. It's a beautiful day, don't get me wrong. But it can get real hot in the sun this time of year. If you forgot to bring sunscreen, need the umbrella. 0-2, popped up, drifting toward the screen. It'll have just enough. Get out of play into the tunnel next to the Dominican dugout. Still the count to Emery. Pitch. Popped up again in foul territory and out of the reach of 3 Stars fielders. 4 pitches and 4 foul balls. Bring the ball back in play, and looks like they'll use a new ball for this next pitch. Maybe that will get us a result. Still 0-2. Woodhouse deals and misses down and away. Concordia, Wisconsin getting some swings in the batting cages while a few from their roster watch from the left field corner. Waiting to see what will happen here. Emery, fly ball to left. This will stay fair. Vogel will be called off by Santoyo at shortstop. Outs made, and Nelson will go back to first. 1 down. And Alyssa Jacobson will step in. Oh for 1. Looking to change that in her second time to the plate today. First pitch swinging, and Woodhouse misses the bat. 0-1. The alum of Rio Americano High School has really put together a terrific career for Dominican. Throws in ball 1 here to even the count. First team all-conference a year ago, second team the year before that. Been outstanding in the circle and in previous years at the plate for the Stars, but hasn't gotten a lot of ABs this season. Misses twice to Jacobson and falls behind. The Raiders center fielder, now the 2-1, flies, and it's driven into left center field, and that will get all the way to the fence. Nelson is around second. She'll get the stop sign as the cutoff throw would have been a little up the line, but in plenty of time to recover. So Jacobson has her 5th double of the season. Nelson moves to third, and Caroline Forrest will bat with 2 in scoring position. And 1 out. A base hit to tie the game. Caroline Forrest, interestingly, does not have an extra base hit this season. Does have 16 driven in. First pitch swinging, fly ball to center. Cornell makes the catch. Nelson tags. Here's the throw in. Was cut off by Zubernat. I don't think she would have gotten Nelson anyway, who scores on the sacrifice fly. That makes it 3-2. Forrest not trying to do too much there. Get a fly ball. Narrow the deficit. Now Sierra Spy will have a word with Olivia Beals. Now Sierra Spy will have a word with home plate umpire Keith Poyer. And Christina Lucas, while all that's going on, is having a conversation with the entire Dominican defense. I don't know that I've ever seen this. It's usually just the infield. They're all in right now. It's 2 outs, so you would think that they're going to be playing this about as straightforward as it gets. Against a right-handed batter, no less. This is a long conversation, and now they'll break it up. Much different than the mound visits for Aurora University softball coach Mike McKenzie, which sometimes appear to consist maybe of 5 words and a clap tops. It's nearly always effective. He has figured it out in his time as a head coach here at Aurora. Soft liner from Beals on the first pitch. Almost runs onto it and makes the catch. That's it for the Raiders in the top of the 4th. A run on 2 hits, and it was a sacrifice fly from Caroline Forrest that brought MSOE closer. They leave 1, but they are not level. 3-2. Stars in front, the halfway point. Our first game of the day. An elimination contest in the 2025 NACC tournament. (3-2) Dominican leading MSOE, bottom of the 4th, and the bottom 3rd of the Stars order. Out to face the freshman Bryn Timmer. Winds and starts off Hannah Vogel. It's a ground ball deep in the hole, left side. Forrest, tough play, got the throw to first, but not in time to get the senior, who is 2 for 2. Will we see Jillian Zubernat attempt to bunt, as she did in the 2nd inning? Tried and failed to get it down twice in that at-bat, and then just flared a single out in the left field instead. She shows and pulls back, and enough time to take ball 1. So it appears that Dominican will play for the run and just keep moving forward in this ball game. Corners running in, the bunt's down, it's a good one. The catcher Sadler will play it, and the throw is to O'Donnell covering the bag. It's just in time. Stars are 3 of 5 with a runner in scoring position. That really has been the difference. Pinch hit spot coming up here. And it looks like it's going to be Madison Butler. We saw in a pinch hit spot yesterday against Benedictine. So it is Butler replacing Amormino. Stars right fielder was pinch hit for twice yesterday, including once for Butler, and then Amormino went right back out in the right field in the ensuing half inning. Butler's been outstanding in near exclusively pinch hit duty. 459 in 37 appearances. She only has 7 starts on the year. 2 doubles, 17 driven in. Hard to ask for a lot more than that from the freshman. 1-0 pitch, too high, and a 2-0 count. The top of the lineup looming. And a tough freshman at the plate. Timmer trying to find the zone, and she pours one in the upper half. 1 down, runner on second. Stars up by a run, trying to change that and add to it. 2-1 pitch, breaking ball, and Butler was out in front. Rolled foul. Count even. Freshman versus freshman, breaking ball hit out to second. O'Donnell goes to a knee to knock it down. And then we'll get Butler at first base for the second out. Vogel went to third and made the turn but goes back. And now Sarah Cornell will try to double the Stars' current lead. But first, Sierra Spayu comes out. Lineup card in hand. Unclear what this change would be, and now it is crystal clear. A pitching change. There were 2 outs. Katie Pollock is in out of the bullpen, replacing Bryn Timmer. Top of the order and the 3rd time through, looming for the Stars. A softball right-hander will warm up. 2 away in the bottom of the 4th, 3-2 Dominican. Katie Pollock in and out of the bullpen for the 8th time this season, her 30th appearance overall. 3.33 ERA and 155 and a third innings with 139 strikeouts, which led the league coming into the NACC tournament. 13 and 11. She is trying to put out a little bit of a fire. I would not call it an inferno at this point. A runner on third and 2 outs. Sarah Cornell, a leadoff spot, digs in, takes strike 1. Had an RBI single in the 2nd inning. 1 for 2 on the afternoon and has now hit an 11 straight with that base hit. Pollock runs a pitch in and it hits the elbow pad of Cornell. Runners on the corners, and it'll be Liliana Santoyo who gets to bat, trying to plate Dominican's 4th run. First pitch swinging, and it's a foul ball roasted up the third base line. Santoyo doubled and scored in the first. She's 1 for 2 so far today. We've crept into the afternoon, an hour and 5 minutes of softball so far, and what's turning into a bit of an extended play. Counts 0-1. Popped up. O'Donnell, the second baseman, drift toward the bag, makes the catch, and that's it for the Stars in the bottom of the fourth. So the pitching change has the desired effect. Dominican does not score. One hit, they leave two to the fifth. 3-2. Stars in front. (9-1-2) to up in the MSOE order. Raiders trail Dominican 3-2 as we go to the fifth. Our broadcast today is presented in part by Kaufman GMC in Aurora, by Elite Management Properties, and by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. I'm Sean Fry. Bryce Suter is our technical director and responsible for these fun graphics that are popping up on screen. He's doing a great job. Bryce is a recent graduate, so let me be certainly not the first, I hope not the first, to congratulate you on becoming one of the newest Aurora University alums, and also thank you for the great work you've done this season. I referred to us as the Dream Team earlier this season. You've been here for, feels like all of my broadcasts this season. Emma Smith is 0 for 1 and takes ball one from Woodhouse. And now a tapper to third. Davis gathers it up and then throws out a left-handed left fielder. One away, and Autumn Sadler at the top of the order will bat for the third time. This is thank you season. I talked about hot rods and motorcycles and all that. It's thank you season as we're on the penultimate day of athletics here at Aurora University as far as events that are going to be hosted. Sadler fouls off the first pitch well out of play. She's 0 for 2. Aurora University baseball team still in action today in the NACC tournament. It's also elimination game season, as you can tell here. Ball one too high to Sadler, but there's a lot of folks all season long who make sure that these events go off with virtually no problems whatsoever. Count 1-1 to Sadler. That's too high. And the freshman catcher is ahead in the count. All season long, our facilities team, led by Chad Trudeau and Kaylee Underwood, give us the best possible situation to work in. When there are things that come up, they troubleshoot brilliantly. And we are tremendously fortunate to have those two and their team here helping these events and leading these events, and so a huge thank you due to them. Counts 3-1 to Sadler, and we'll call time. Of course, the athletic communications team here, led by our director, Brian Kipley, assistant director, Ali Texera, and our graduate assistant this year, Ryan Swanson. Strike one, make that strike two to Sadler, and the count's full. You know, all of the live scoring, the statistics you find on our website, the game stories, all of that from their team and the many workers, faculty, and students who assist with that. There's a line drive up the middle. A one-out single on the first hit of the day for Sadler. Let's put the tying run on base for the Raiders. So again, a tremendous thank you to their team, of course, to the administration at Aurora University, led by our president, Dr. Susana Rivera Mills. Great deal of support for athletics here at Aurora University, and I think we are tremendously fortunate for that. I could go on. I would end up leaving a lot of very deserving people out, so I will just cover the rest with a blanket and very large thank you for everything they do for us all season long. Jenna O'Donnell takes ball one and then a strike on the outside corner from a fastball from Woodhouse. A walk and a fly out. The run scored for O'Donnell today. We have more thank yous tomorrow for an entirely different reason because, of course, tomorrow is Mother's Day. 1-1 pitches too high. You run out of time for thank yous for the moms out there. Count 2-1. O'Donnell with one out and one on, looking for a pitch. She gets one, hits it hard to short. On one hop, Santoyo to second for one. The turn was not in time, and it was out of the reach of Zubernat. It rolls into the dugout. Sadler is out on the fielder's choice and then advances to second on the error. But an out's called. And so are they calling interference on the runner? Well, the umpires are going to discuss, and MSOE is going out to take the field, so that's it. The threat ends. There's no error. It's simply an out. No runs on a hit, no errors after all, and nobody left as it'll end up being essentially a double play, and we'll go to the bottom of the fifth with Dominican still in front, 3-2. Three to two after runner interference. Leads to an inning-ending double play in the top of the fifth. Keeps the Stars in front by a run. Reagan Davis to lead it off. Took a strike and then lifts a pitch high in the left. A step in front of the warning track. Smith goes back to get it and makes the catch. Still Katie Pollock, who got the last out of the fourth, faced two batters, has now thrown 6 pitches to get a couple of outs. I'll face Isabella Olmos. 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts, lays a bunt down here. Pollock runs out to get it, throw to first, not in time. And Olmos, who is second in the NACC with 28 stolen bases without being thrown out once, is on with an out, and with Riley Davis coming to the plate. Runner goes. Pitch taken for a ball. Throw is not in time. Very close. Third base umpire Fred Schlesinger was right on it. I am glad I didn't have to make that call. Moves a runner in the scoring position, and then Davis, the flare in the right. Emery comes up throwing, and Dominican will not make the same mistake they made to end the first inning. They'll put the stop sign on for almost. Back-to-back singles. There are runners on the corners with one out for Kaylee Diaz-Randall, and it looks like we may have a pinch runner for Davis. We saw her run for yesterday, and indeed she will come out. And it's Leilani Guzman into the game. We've seen her in a pinch run role for Dominican for 3 years now. Junior out of Midlothian, Illinois, takes Davis's place on first, and now Diaz-Randall will try to extend the lead. Guzman's off the bag at first and shuffles her way into second with a stolen base. That will go in as the third stolen base of the day. For Dominican, they're now up to 91 on the season, second only to Benedictine, who has a huge lead. 1-0 pitch, it's a bunt, and it's a safety squeeze that Diaz-Randall beat out. Close play. Let's have another look. Sierra Spayu is out arguing that call, and it's a tough decision, right? It's a very close play. We're going to get another look on video here. And I have to say, I think first base umpire Simon Steiner made the right call. Bases are loaded. Hannah Vogel is 2 for 2. 3-2 lead. First pitch swinging, looped into center field. Almost scores. That's it, as it barely had enough to clear a leaping O'Donnell. Vogel is 3 for 3. It's 4 straight singles for the Stars. Sadler will come out to talk to Pollock, and so will head coach Sierra Spayu. Marissa Colazzo is in the MSOE bullpen warming up. We'll see if she's going to be needed. 4-2 the score. So the Stars extend their lead, now up to 12 hits on the afternoon. Jenna O'Donnell gave it the very best effort. I mean, if you're head coach of the MSOE basketball team, I think you're impressed with the form trying to get that rebound at the highest possible point. Just wasn't enough. First pitch to Jillian Zubernat is off the plate outside. Going to be a decision coming up here for Dominican as Zubernat fouls off next pitch. Kayla Amormino is on deck. Went back in the right field. If they pinch hit for her, she would be out of the game for the duration. So we'll see if she's up, if it gets to her spot in the order. meaning if there's not a double play. Zubernat takes ball 2 as now Pollock in an unenviable spot trying to get an out. 2-1 pitch. Out into the screen. A spot for the senior to break this game open. 2-2. And that is fouled off of a stanchion. Ends up caroming back to the third baseman, Beals. Infield in for MSOE with a 2-2 count and 1 out. Pollock went for the corner and couldn't get the breaking ball to bend back over. The count is full with nowhere to put the senior first baseman. Payoff pitch, fly ball to center. Jacobson right in the middle of the logo, running forward, makes the catch. Throw is on the money, and for the second time, an outfield assist ends the inning. And I don't think many of the players realize it. Christina Lucas is out of the coach's box. The umpires are going to discuss, but if this holds up, the inning's over. Sierra Spyu walks to the edge of the chalk on the first base side while the umpiring crew gets together. I don't know what would have been wrong there. And it is, in fact, an inning-ending double play. Four to 2 after the Stars score 1 on 4 hits. They leave 2. To the 6th. The Stars in front. I don't know what would have been wrong with that. Are they saying she got in safe? So you think that was the right call? Looked fine. I thought that one they got right. I mean, I thought this one they got right. I didn't see anything wrong with it. Yeah. I'm not an umpire. 4-2. Dominican extends its lead, but an inning-ending double play, a fly out to center, and then once again the Stars test the outfield arms for the Raiders and do not get the desired result. But all the same, a run is a run, and they're all good at this point in the game. Dominican, when leading through 5 innings, is 21-3 this season. They have the lead here. Katie Pollock in the 3 spot, fouls off the first pitch from Emma Woodhouse, and then looks at a riser that stays out of the zone. Pollock is 1 for 2. Raiders have 5 hits in the ball game. Pollock is one of them, and it was the first of the game back in the first. 1-1. Liner in the right field. Amormino, who is back in right field, came up and thought about throwing, but wisely, in my opinion, thought better of it, as we've seen a handful of errant throws trying to get a runner at first that have not ended well. Jada Nelson, 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run on the day, batting with the leadoff runner on. And she'll look at ball 1 above the logo. She is the tying run. 10 doubles, second best on the team, and a home run on the season. 1-0 pitch. Woodhouse finds the outside corner. One ball, one strike. Raiders trying to fight back in the visitors' 6th. Breaking ball and a looping fly ball into right, just out of the reach of Amormino, who dove for it in foul territory. And a long strike. So Nelson now needing to protect with 2 strikes. 1-2. He's out in front. Fouls it away. Now, we've talked a little bit about a number of very close plays, and for my part, and I'm not just saying this because there's several umpires up here in the press box with us, I think the crew has done a pretty good job. They've had a lot of really close plays, and we have the benefit of replay, and they do not. And we've agreed with just about everything here today. So a nice job by this crew and all the others. And a fly ball that got in to exactly the right spot between 3 players. It's down, and everyone's safe. Cornell was running on, and I think maybe misjudged it initially. No one ended up getting there, but Pollock was waiting, so there was a chance to get an out because Pollock was still about 50 feet away when the ball dropped, but the throw was errant. And now we'll have a pinch runner, and it's Bryn Kerber. She runs in place of Pollock. And Carly Emery looking for her first hit. Fouls off the first pitch. As I mentioned earlier, both of Emery's hits in this tournament have been doubles. She's the go-ahead run at the plate. Looks at ball 1 down and away. Does have 3 homers on the season after hitting a couple over the fence last year. Woodhouse deals, and now Emery stabs at a bunt. It was going to be to attempt to reach, but wasn't able to put it down in play. And Emery falls behind 1-2. I don't know that I love that decision there. I think I would prefer to either sacrifice or don't, especially with a very capable batter in Carly Emery. And I think with her ability to find gaps, I think you let her swing away. She takes ball 2. Now she has no choice on the 2-strike count. And here it is. It's a breaking ball, and it just spun up there, and Emery couldn't find it. 1 out. And Woodhouse has her first strikeout, incredibly, of the day. MSOE now 1 for 5 with a runner in scoring position. Alyssa Jacobson tries to change it and does. A line drive up the middle. Cornell comes up throwing. The stop sign is on for Kerber at third. Jacobson is 2 for 3, and the bases are loaded for Caroline Forrest. Christina Lucas is out of the Stars dugout. And we'll have another conversation, but this time the outfield doesn't get involved. They stay out there and will have a word on their own. There's no action in the Stars bullpen, although Dominican does have several good options outside of their starter. We've already played 90 minutes of softball, and we're not out of the top of the 6th. So if we've been in danger of falling behind at all, this would be the one. We're set for a 1:30 start between Benedictine and Concordia, Wisconsin in the middle game today, which will be the only one without an elimination at stake. Go-ahead runs on base, and Forrest, who I should note, despite not having any extra base hits this season, at 7 doubles last year, a homer and 8 doubles as a freshman. The power's there, just hasn't been able to locate it this season. What a time it would be to come up with one now. She fouls off the first pitch from Woodhouse. Sack, fly, and a ground out on the line today for the junior out of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Woodhouse takes a moment, gets the rosin bag for a moment, and now is back on the rubber. Here's the 0-1, and it is popped up. The infield fly rule is in effect, almost makes the catch anyway. A massive second out for the Stars with the bases loaded in the top of the 6th. MSOE is stranded only 3 all day. First pitch to Olivia Beals is too high, and it's ball 1. Beals now 1 for 10 in the NACC tournament. Looking for her second hit, and immediately gets into a 2-0 count. Woodhouse will need to make a quality pitch. Here's the 2-0. It's outside. Not a great time to lose the zone. Olivia Beals might as well just set the bat down. There's no way she's swinging here at 3-0. Pitch is right down the middle. Hitters count. Beals could tie it up with a base hit. 3-1 pitch. Off the end of the bat to the right side. Almost the second baseman fields it. The underhand toss to first is in time. The Raiders load the bases on 3 hits but do not score. And Dominican goes to the bottom of the 6th, hanging on to a 4-2 lead. But, you know, when it's the last game of the night, it doesn't matter. Here it gets everything behind, but I don't think it'll get behind too much. I mean, because really, if the Stars don't give up the lead, we're only going to play for another 10 minutes. They got 45 minutes to line the field. They'll stay on time. Nobody gets infield until 24 minutes before anyway, so as long as the field's ready, they'll play. The Stars to bat for what they hope will be the final time in this first game. Kayla Amormino in the 9th spot, batting from the left side, leads off and takes a very close ball 1. Katie Pollock. Amormino put down a sacrifice in the 2nd on a bit of a strange sequence where we thought it was a successful sacrifice. Then we thought that she was out on an illegally batted ball. Then it turned out it was just strike 1. And so it must have either been a foul ball or it hit her, one or the other. And in any case, then she put down the sacrifice after all, and she hacks at a 1-1 pitch She was moving forward in the box. It's 1-2. In any case, she's back up. That's really what we're getting at here. And she'll try to set the table for the Stars as they lead 4-2. Pollock comes up in the zone. Wasn't able to locate. And it's a 2-2 count. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Pollock fans Amormino. It's her first strikeout. Not a lot of those in this game. 5 between the two teams. Sarah Cornell to the plate for the 4th time. First pitch swinging and a fly ball to center. Jacobson was standing still at so much time. 2 away. Liliana Santoyo to the plate. 1 for 3 on the day so far. First pitch breaking ball is in for a strike. Pollock's 0-1, runs inside. Just missed Santoyo, which tells you that it's ball 1. 9-1-2 to up for MSOE as they will try to save their season in the top of the 7th coming up. 1-1 pitch. A breaking ball that, to put it mildly, got away from Katie Pollock. Two balls and a strike to Santoyo, and she'll look at strike 2. Been a fun first game. 2-2 pitch, spoiled by Santoyo. She'll get another look coming up at a 2-2 pitch. I think the next one should be a lot of fun as well. Benedictine has won 14 straight coming in, and Concordia, Wisconsin playing very good softball down the stretch as well. Fly ball to center. Well, in fact, it won't even get there. The wind kicks up, blows that back into the infield, and O'Donnell takes care of it for the final out. Stars retired in order in the bottom of the 6th. And the season now on the line for MSOE. Trailing 4-2 to Dominican. The Stars 3 outs away from advancing to play this afternoon. It's either rosin or just chalk. One or the other. Probably rosin. No, that's allowed. Dominican trying to get at least one more game in this Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference Tournament. They lead 4-2 and are 3 outs from victory. They are 19-1 when leading after 6 innings. They lost in that spot against Concordia Chicago, which snapped a 62-game, 3-year stretch of slamming the door after leading through 6 innings. And a pinch hit spot for Anna Marnell to lead off the 7th inning. Marnell 3 for 6 with 2 driven in on the season. She takes ball 1, and then a strike from Emma Woodhouse. Senior usually finishes what she starts. 14 of her 22 have been complete games. The 1-1 to Marnell. And a shot through the right side. It's a leadoff single, and it will put the tying run at the plate. Senior from Georgia delivering. And it seems like there may be a change on the base pass, and indeed there will be. As into the game to run is Emma Smith. It's going to be in left field anyway, as it turns out, so she steps on first, and Autumn Sadler comes to the plate. The top of the order now will try to come up with 2. Sadler first pitch swinging and a fly ball to center. No trouble there for Cornell. Records the first out. Jenna O'Donnell hitless today, but reached on a walk and scored in the first. Nevertheless, 5 of 11 for the conference tournament. Not much to look at on ball 1. A huge jump from Smith, and Diaz Randall took a look. Smith back in safe. And now Jillian Zubernat needs a moment to relace one of her shoes. She's ready to go. And O'Donnell will get set for the 1-0 pitch from Woodhouse. A fly ball to left. Vogel has time and records out number 2. So it comes down to Katie Pollock to extend MSOE's season. She is 2 for 3. Woodhouse winds. Another large jump after the release by Smith, but this time Diaz Randall will not throw. It was ball 1. You're not worried about that run, but why give up an extra base? One 1-0 pitch to Pollock. Line dry, but it will hook foul. With 2 outs, Smith will be able to run on contact, and so anything into the gap is going to give the left fielder a chance to score from first. Pollock does have 8 doubles on the season. 1-1. Fouled off. Stars are a strike away from resuming in the NACC tournament. Pollock 5 of 12 with an RBI for the session, trying to keep the season alive. 1-2 pitch, another large jump by Smith. It got a throw down to second, but really wasn't any chance that she was going to try to steal second, I think, in this spot. Counts 2-2. Woodhouse tries to end it. Pollock pops it up. It's foul, though, as it will spin its way over the screen. And how about the play by the fan behind the plate? You love it when a fan makes a play. I'll try the 2-2 again. Pollock trying to bring the go-ahead run to the plate if she can find a way on. 2-2 again, down the middle, strike 3, ball game over. Strike 3 looking sends the Stars into play at 4 o'clock today, and it ends MSOE season. 4-2 the final. "12 hits for the Stars today. They strand 7. Raiders with 9 hits in the loss. They leave 7 as well, including the bases loaded in the 6th inning. It's Emma Woodhouse with the win. She goes to 18-6, and Bryn Timmer will suffer the season-ending loss. Her record will conclude at 6-9 for what was a very good freshman campaign. Stars move on. They're 31-11. They'll take on whoever loses our next game, either Concordia, Wisconsin, or Benedictine at 4 o'clock. MSOE season ends at 21-23. 1 hour and 45 minutes was the time of our first game of this Saturday. So we will get ready for the 2 teams that have yet to lose in the NACC tournament. Third-seeded Benedictine and number 1 Concordia, Wisconsin, as the final 3 are the top 3. No elimination in the next one. Just trying to find out who will play later in an elimination game and who will get the rest of the day off with a chance to win it at noon on Sunday. For Bryce Suter, our technical director, my name is Sean Fry. Dominican over MSOE 4-2 in game 1 of this Saturday's play. My name is Sean Fry. Have a great rest of your day, or if you're coming right on back, we're set for a 1:30 first pitch between Benedictine and Concordia, Wisconsin in the 2025 NACC tournament.